I'm Michelle Purdy. We're interviewing Heather Clement today about the flooding in Baton Rouge. So Heather, what happened, what were you doing before the flooding hit?
Well, I was packing up to come here. I was packing up my mom's car and my car as well to come to Privateer Place because moving day was Friday.
When did you realize that this was not just a regular rainstorm, that this was very different?
My dad came in my room at 4:30 a.m. Friday morning and said, "You need to get up. We got to start putting stuff up because the water is now over the highway, which is into our yard, and this is not a joke anymore. Let's start putting stuff either in the attic, above the bed, everything off the ground." So we started at 4:30 and it ended up coming into our house around 10:30. And so we were watching it come up like minutes by minutes, but we had enough time to get everything up.
Wow. And so what happened after water started coming in?
When water started coming in and after we started picking up stuff, we ended up like unscrewing cabinets and taking drawers out just to save the wood.
Mm-hmm.
And it started coming to our house, and my mom and my cat actually got on a rescue boat because my mom was freaking out, and so they left and they took her to our friend's house that was dry. And me and my dad stayed there, finished cleaning up everything, kind of just waited it out. We didn't think it was going to get as high as it did when we were there, but it did. It was probably ankle deep. But my dad launched his boat in the front yard, and once we had gotten everything that we could think of up, we got in the boat and we drove probably a mile down the road to a gas station that was dry. And from there, we took another boat to where my mom was at our friend's house. There was another deep part but between those two it was dry, so we couldn't take our boat. So we had to leave our boat at the gas station, take another boat to get there. We stayed there for probably about 5 hours, and it was around 8 to 8:30. It was coming. It was coming into their house.
Wow. So you went to a place where you thought was safe, and then
yes,
it started coming up there too. Wow.
And then we were like, okay, we have to leave here. My aunt's house, which was probably 3 miles down the road, we know she was safe, or she was dry. And so we take a truck down the road as far as we could in the water. It was probably like to the rooms. And we parked it, and it was already dark. We put the lights on, and every time we saw a boat, we'd start flashing our lights. And eventually somebody came, and we had 3 dogs, 2 cats, my mom, my dad, me, my friend Brittany, and her family.
Wow.
We all got in 2 boats, and we drove probably 2 miles up until there's a fire station that was dry. And from the fire station to my aunt's house was dry. So my aunt and my uncle came and picked us up in the truck. And when we got there, there was already probably about 15 family members, and then us coming in added up. And we stayed there for 4 days because we couldn't get back to our house because the water hadn't gone down yet.
So you were at your aunt's house, you
Mm-hmm.
said, and how many people were there?
Probably 20 to 25 people, including animals. That was probably about 7.
For 4 days?
4 days. I slept in a baby bed.
Wow. Okay, so what happened after 4 days and when you were first coming back to the house? What did you see?
When we got back to the house, we saw the water level. On the outside of the house, it was probably a foot, but on the inside, it was probably only 8 inches. And so we were blessed just that it was not that high because a lot of family and friends that I know got over their roofs. And like we didn't lose any of our cars, we didn't lose any appliances, electronics, nothing.
And you also got to save a lot of furniture, too.
Yes, we saved all our furniture.
What would you take away from this experience?
I would take away to not take anything for granted because I took my house, family, everything for granted. I was ready to come back to school. And when it happened at the end of the night, when we were all at my aunt's house, we all sat there and everyone was just crying because we were so happy that no matter what we lost, when we go back to our house, we know that our family is here and we're alive.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you so much, Heather. Heather, I hope the best wishes for your family, rebuilding your house and family. Thank you so much for interviewing.